Agent Fever and gigantic news. DeMarcus Cousins has agreed to a one-year, $5.3 million deal with the defending champion Golden State Warriors. Shams Charania of Yahoo Sports is reporting that, and Steph Curry tweets out the third Splash Brother with a bunch of ha-has. Let's go at Boogie Cousins. Well, we waited a few hours for some big news, didn't we? Griff and B. Wood, and we got it. Rick Kamla, David Griffin, Brendan Haywood, and your thoughts. Boogie Cousins is going to be a Warrior.
Well, I just can't quite process this from the standpoint of the irony involved in LeBron James going to Los Angeles, probably unveiling Space Jam 2, and the Golden State Warriors have now combined the Toon Stars and the Monstars, and the rest of the NBA are the Nerdlucks. This is unbelievable for this league. For this much talent to reside in one location, league pass sales are going to go up simply because everybody in the world has got to watch every Warriors game right now. And I don't know what that means at the end of the day. I really don't. I'm not one of those people who's going to tell you that June is a done deal and forget about it, it's over, because so many things happen in the course of a season. But this team literally is like playing a video game at this point.
Yeah, I'm going to be one of those people that tells you June is here and it's already over, okay? Summer's just getting started and it's already done. It's a wrap. We already thought the Golden State Warriors were the best team in the league. We were thinking if you squinted your eye, maybe Boston could give them a run in the finals. But with Boogie Cousins on a team that doesn't need him to be great, that can slowly walk him through his recovery process, hey, big fella, take it slow. Come back at your own pace. And then by the time the playoffs get here, they can unleash a true post force onto teams in the NBA. It's a wrap.
So that's good then. You're saying that's a good thing?
I don't know. It depends on if you want somebody to root against, it's a good thing because now everybody gets to root against Golden State because they want to see the upset. Kind of like in the NCAA tournament. You root against the top seeds because you want to see an upset. But as far as just pure common sense basketball, we already knew Golden State was the best team out there. You add Boogie Cousins, which gives them a dynamic that they didn't. That's one of the areas that they were kind of vulnerable. Like, you know, they tried to, sometimes it was Looney, sometimes it was JaVale McGee. They just lost JaVale, Pachulia. At the 5, you kind of could have your way with the Warriors some nights. Not anymore. And how easy is it for this team to just on some games just slow the game down, throw it in the post to Boogie Cousins, watch him work out. Oh, and if you try to double him, he's only being surrounded by Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Kevin Durant. It's a wrap. This is laughable.
Hey, so let's take the Eastern Conference All-Stars against the Warriors for the finals. That might actually be a more interesting contest.
Man, Eastern Conference All-Stars might get blown out.
They pay you guys to opine, but I'm taking the Warriors.
So this is fascinating to me in a lot of different levels. But when you look at the fact that Boogie Cousins was the one piece that New Orleans had, and really that the league had in terms of being able to be in a team that could force the Warriors to play one of their 5s, which meant that you were getting into players 10, 11, 12 in their rotation, and take players 6 and 7 off the court. You had a chance to beat them, to your point, in the paint and force them to play one of those guys. So Boogie and AD together was sort of stylistically, you know, styles make a fight. It was really intriguing to think about what that could have looked like. So the Warriors say, okay, if we have an Achilles heel, it's the potential for somebody to do something different. So let's just take that too.
And what about
checkmate? It's crazy.
And what about the Pelicans? You lose Rondo, you lose Boogie Cousins. Anthony Davis has to be looking around that locker room like, don't like what I see here.
But he got Julius Randle back.
Okay, I like Julius Randle, but he's not Boogie Cousins.
Well, and he's also, the problem is Rondo was a leader in that locker room. Rondo was the basketball IQ to a huge degree of that floor. He's the coach on the floor. He and Alvin Gentry had formed an incredible bond, so that's a big loss for them in and of itself. This thing here is going to be difficult to process for the rest of the league. And I think the hope is going to be that too much of a good thing eventually gets in your way. But this is one of those things where they don't even need him to be healthy before February.
They don't.
That they can let him take all the time he wants because they can just go through the regular season and then unleash this team on the playoffs, and people won't have been able to scout to it. They won't have any adjustments built in yet because they won't have seen it. it's almost to their benefit to not play him at this point, because if you do, you let people adjust to it. Why rush him? Let him get his legs underneath him. Let him find his health. Let him find his balance, and then just cut him loose. It's terrifying to think about. It really is.
I'm a little confused because DeMarcus Cousins was signed by Sacramento on the deal that just expired well below max for a variety of reasons. And now DeMarcus Cousins, who presumably could have gotten full years and full money from the New Orleans Pelicans to stay there after the big trade that they made last year at All-Star Weekend, the money that he is leaving on the table is colossal. So try to dive into his brain. Is this a one-year ring chase and then I get paid, or does money not matter that much to DeMarcus Cousins? What's going on here?
I'm not sure if his money doesn't matter. I think he looked around at the landscape of basketball and was trying to figure out where he was going to get his money. And if the money's not to your liking and some people don't believe you're healthy enough to give you the max, okay, I'll go out there and I'll prove myself in 1 year. But while I'm proving myself, I'm going to go ahead and get an NBA championship along the way.
Brendan, is this a sign that New Orleans wasn't meeting his terms? Like, is that fair to speculate? Or do you think...
Certainly. They couldn't have been, or this wouldn't be something he felt compelled to do.
Wow.
You know, Eric Pincus, when we were with him the last couple days, talked at great length about the lack of cap space in the league and how that was going to impact, in particular, restricted free agents. But because there was really, really limited cap space in the hands of people that you knew would use it, it makes it problematic for a guy like Boogie, because you're sitting there being told to wait by teams that you're the second or third option for. And eventually he said, okay, watch this.
Well, and if you're Boogie Cousins, you don't want to wait. Like, this is a guy that is a franchise player. He can be a franchise cornerstone. You have had some questions about his injury, and there's been some questions about how does he fit within your locker room. But from a talent standpoint, you know he fits as one of the better basketball players in the NBA. And to your point, when you're one of the best basketball players in the world and teams are telling you, wait, hold up, and we'll get to you later, you're thinking to yourself, nah, that's where your swag kicks in. That's where your pride kicks in. It's like, okay, all right, I'm going to go over here and do this real quick. I'm going to get back to you. And when I get back to you, it's going to be next year when I'm giving your team work on the block. The NBA right now needs to be afraid, be very afraid. The Golden State Warriors are already terrifying. It's got a lot better.
Their greatest enemy, literally.